Adrian decisions. Good evening. Thank you for joining me tonight. My name is Alex Chan. My Twitter handle is Ian Lazarin. And thank you again for tuning in this evening. You can get 20% off any BetQL subscription if you use the promo code CHAN. That's my last name. Type it in. If you're looking to purchase a subscription, we have weekly, monthly, annual plans. You can purchase a plan for one sport, multiple sports, or all sports. But you can gain access to a model that will churn out 5-star and 4-star winners for you and make your life a lot easier on Saturdays, Sundays, or any day in which professional sports are being played. So go ahead and use the promo code CHAN to get 20% off any BetQL subscription. I do want to start off and offer a correction from last night. I mentioned in the Celtics Heat series that the Celtics were a plus 450 underdog right now to come back and to win the series. That's actually incorrect. I had purchased a ticket from the Westgate for the Celtics to win the Eastern Conference. The clerk had told me that it was plus 450, and I thought, well, that sounds too good to be true. When something sounds too good to be true, it probably is too good to be true, because that was actually a ticket to win for the Celtics to win the Eastern Conference next season. So that ticket is going to have to stay on ice for another year or so. It may still be a winning ticket. You have to figure that the Celtics will eventually get over their conference finals hump. But the actual price for most books right now for the Celtics to come back and win this series is plus 115. I think I saw plus 120 at Circa the other day. So it's not plus 450 or plus 445 or whatever I said it was last night. Unfortunately for me, I'm going to have to keep a ticket on ice for a year. But if you do think the Celtics are going to win tomorrow, it's probably a good idea to purchase a ticket right now, because the Celtics are going to be the favorites to win the series again if they win Game 4 tomorrow evening. You just won't get it at plus 455. Now, something that's not too good to be true is the BetQL model that we just talked about. I do have a free play to give you tonight from the model, and that is a college football play for this weekend. A free 5-star pick, courtesy of the BetQL model, is for you to take the points with Tulsa at 2.5. Tulsa is a 2.5-point underdog against Arkansas State. The model at this time is suggesting that's a 5-star play. Not the sexiest game on the card, but as we talked about last night when the model offered a 5-star bet in the UTEP Abilene Christian game, money counts the same whether it's a hot game or not, or whether it's whether there's an FCS team involved or not. It counts the same. Now, these two teams are not particularly good. They're both FBS teams, but the money counts the same. So the model is suggesting a 5-star pick for this weekend on Tulsa. Take the points with Tulsa at 2.5. That's the free 5-star pick that I have to offer you tonight. The only game that we're going to preview on what's a relatively light sporting day on this Tuesday evening is the Dolphins and the Jaguars. The Jaguars are 3-point favorites. The over-under is 48 for the game. Now, what's interesting is this game's on Thursday night, and this is a interstate matchup in Florida. But both of these two teams are incredibly high variance, and it's frankly an incredibly difficult team to wager on. It's generally at least when it comes to professional football, it's generally advisable to stay away from games involving two bad teams, especially two teams that are allegedly in the process of tanking. But what's interesting from the first two games, at least from the Jaguars' perspective, is that they were doubled in yardage pretty much against the Colts in their opener of this season, and they ended up winning. They ended up outgaining the Titans last week by over 100 yards, and that's a game in which they came up short. So this is a team that you're going to have a ton of high variance outcomes, a ton of outcomes that don't make sense or that are somewhat illogical. The same thing can be said about the Dolphins. They had less than 300 yards of total offense against the Patriots, and I guess you could say that makes sense. The Patriots are still a good defense, despite some of the transactions that occurred in the offseason. But the Dolphins went ahead and they ended up gaining over 400 yards of total offense against the Buffalo Bills, another supposedly strong defense. So these are two teams where their offenses can randomly have a great game, or that their offenses can randomly just throw out a turd of a game. So it's going to be an incredibly difficult game to handicap. It's not the easiest game in the world to wager on. There's not going to be, but it's the only game that's going to be available. So if you do want to find out what the model says about this game, you're going to have to get a subscription, and you can get 20% off that subscription if you use the promo code CHAN. These are the type of games where I would recommend that you go with a model, because there's going to be, again, these are two bad teams. These are two teams that are likely not going to make the playoffs and likely not even trying to make the playoffs. So this is the one where I think you can logically tail a model and hope for the very best. But you can get what the model says about the full game spread, the full game total, the first half spread, the first half total, the money line, by going to BetQL, sign up for a subscription, get 20% off that subscription by using the promo code CHAN. We have the Lakers and Nuggets game 3 progressing. It looks like the Nuggets, at least as of the time that this show has started, it looks like the Nuggets are going to get a win this evening to push that series to 2-1. I guess anything could happen in the fourth quarter, but it does appear that the Nuggets are going to make this a series with a victory tonight. The Big Data Show will return on Friday evening, where we'll hopefully have more. Well, we will have more games to talk about that are going to be occurring this weekend. Until then, check out the BetQL website. I'll have a couple articles coming out that preview several of the college football games from this weekend. I'll be previewing the Alabama-Missouri game, and I'll be previewing the Texas Tech game. All of the content that's the free content on BetQL, but it won't give you a pick, but it will give you information and data that you can use to make the best wagering decision possible and make the optimal wagering decision possible. So until then, we'll see you on Friday night is next time this show will air. That's Friday night at 8 o'clock Pacific Standard Time, 11 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. So until then, good luck with your bets. Good luck with your wagers. Stay safe. Thank you for joining us this evening, and we'll see you again on Friday night. Thanks again, guys.